In this week's Bleach, a truth about Ichigo is revealed.
I am your father.
Really?
No, not really.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my weekly reviews of Bleach's 1000-Year Blood War arc. Today we'll be taking a look at Episode 7, Born in the Dark. We begin with... Oh god, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Stay calm.
Stay calm! Wait, everybody calm down!
Wow. Holy shit. I think I need a cigarette. After that feast for the eyes, we jump to a young Shunsui in an angry Yama's office, noticing a fiery painting. Yama tells him it was a monster that appeared many years ago but is no longer around. But if it did return, he would not. Jumping back to the present, despite being slashed across his body, Yama is still standing and... Oh, there he goes. As Yhwach tries to take his leave...
You're not going anywhere, motherfucker!
Yhwach goes on to tell Yama that he wasn't even one of his 5 war potentials because he was a completely different man from back in his glory murdering days. A brutal beast reduced to a weakling that cared for humans and had a sense of pride and justice. The Soul Society is about to die, but the 13 Court Guard squads died years ago with the Quincy.
Well, I remember you as a whiny little piece of shit, so why don't you do us both a favor and pull the trigger? Do it, motherfucker! Pull the trigger!
With the Captain Commander obliterated, Yhwach orders the Sternritter to crush the Soul Society, calling in hundreds of foot soldiers who absolutely brutalize the Shinigami. While all this is going on, Ichigo can sense all the souls that are beginning to fade away. Seeing them diminish quickly, Ichigo's rage prevails and breaks him back into the Soul Society with Akon's assistance. Ichigo makes a quick stop to Byakuya to let him know that Rukia and Renji are fine. In what is probably their most emotional exchange, Byakuya apologizes for his weakness, inability to protect, and asking Ichigo to save Soul Society. No response is needed as Ichigo's face and spiritual pressure say it all. Byakuya then lets go of his Zanpakuto as it completely deteriorates. Ichigo makes his way to Yhwach, throwing his sword right in front of him, and finds out that this is the man who has destroyed Soul Society.
No, alright. I know that sounds bad.
An amazing aerial battle ensues, and we get a good old Getsugaten show, but Yhwach easily restrains Ichigo and stabs him in the throat. It looks fatal, but Yhwach says he'll be fine as long as they revive him at the Vandenreich and put him under his command after the re-education. Yikes. I can only imagine what re-education looks like.
Told you. We're gonna hang out. I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm gonna take some pictures. And I'll pay you.
But what's this? Ichigo has the Blute Vein ability? Yhwach is shocked, but realizes and explains that Ichigo's spiritual pressure memories must have been awakened in Kurge's jail. His burst of spiritual pressure must have mixed with Kurge's from the jail. Ichigo is clearly confused by what the hell Yhwach is talking about, especially when his mother's history is brought up.
You don't be talking about my mama, son. You don't know my mama, son!
Yhwach is able to overwhelm Ichigo, but just before he can capture him, a shadow appears as their time limit away from the Vandenreich has expired, and it's time to leave. Ichigo makes one last stand, but his sword is cut in half by Hashwalth as Yhwach bids farewell to his son, born in the dark. My overall thoughts on Episode 7? I can say with extreme confidence that us Bleach fans are indeed feasting.
Please, Daddy.
I told you, when I'm finished, you can have what's left.
The opening scene of this episode already had me giving it a 10 out of 10. We got this art over the weekend done by Kubo of the original Gotei 13. I thought it was awesome, but didn't have much to say because I thought it was just that. Art. I wasn't expecting them to turn up in the anime days later, but they did, and holy hell, it was satisfying and they are certainly terrifying. They were brutal ass killers. You see how some of these Quincy's were killed? Look at that smoosh. That dude got fucked up. God damn, I wasn't sure if I was watching Bleach or Terrifier 2. We know nothing about any of them, and yet I'm sure we all have our favorites. At the moment, I'm going with you, And of course you. What's your cute little violent backstory? One of my favorite moments was when Chojiro, underneath the bodies of dead Quincy, rose up and stabbed Yhwach from behind. This one freaking scene fed my appetite for wanting more of the original Gotei 13 after the manga gave us a fleeting glimpse, but I must say I'm still hungry and crave more of all of these characters. Remember last week when I said the best additional stuff we got so far was a small Aizen scene?
So that was a fucking lie.
Everything else in the episode was obviously well done too. We got Yama dying on his feet and tragically getting blown up. He had his time in the sun to shine last week, so bidding him farewell today was appropriate. He went out fighting to the bitter end like a badass. Byakuya's scenes are seriously heartbreaking. A character that we know to be a formidable foe and ally for Ichigo is reduced to a bloody stain in the wall, regretting to have to ask a human who shouldn't even be there to protect Soul Society. His Zanpakuto totally vanishing is the kicker that, while beautiful, is depressing when thinking that this could be the end for a beloved character in the series. And Ichigo got to put his badassery on full display. You can just feel the rage he has. I genuinely laughed when he blasted through Shaz Domino, who's trying to play up the villain and explain who he is, while Ichigo's like, "The fuck out of my way, small fry." His fight was super well animated, especially in all the aerial stuff and the burst of energy after Yhwach said he's the one who wrecked Soul Society. I love how they've expanded the fights with more visually pleasing bits of action while incorporating the necessary dialogue. Now, I can already see the anime-onlys getting riled up with the notion of Ichigo having possible Quincy heritage. All I ask is that you calm down. It'll make sense-ish. I wouldn't get too hung up on it, but feel free to start with all your Shinigami, hollow, visored, full-bring Quincy jokes now. So yeah, I really dug this episode for very obvious reasons. Original Gotei 13 got me all hot and bothered, the gloomy atmosphere is rearing its ugly head back in, and Ichigo kicked ass despite having his sword chopped and learning he's potentially a Quincy. But let me know what you guys think. How do you feel about Ichigo's Quincy connection? And who's your favorite of the OG Gotei 13? Favorite comments will be featured in the next review. Here are last week's winners. Well, that'll do it for me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow my Twitter and Instagram. Links to those can be found in the description. Until next week with Episode 8, the Shooting Star Project Zero Mix, peace.